is locked. Oh, I think it wants me to be like that. Okay. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it'll make Chris be like
Maybe
that too.
it's the same thing for me too.
Okay. All right. Well, we're winging it, so it's all good. Now I'm dropping tractors. Just trying to get my phone set up where it actually looks. I'm gonna move this house because otherwise we're just looking at a house. All right, I'm getting it pulled up here on the other computer so I can see if anybody has any questions or anything like that. I've got a couple people in here. So, and there's always a little bit of a lag for when it goes up here. When we get done, I'll take a thumbnail from your display and put it up on the thumbnail. But right now, I just kind of took what I had. So. All right, it's trying to load. There we go. There we go. All right, cool. So we got Chris on the left, if you're looking at it, and I'm on the right, I think. What's up, JJ Farms? Kyle, how's it going? Yeah, we're trying something new and exciting here today, Kyle. So, and we're live. So,
hey, Kyle,
yeah. So basically, what we're going to do here, first off, is we're just going to have Chris take us through his display and just kind of explain it to us, show us the detail, talk about whatever he wants to talk about. So just whenever you're ready, Chris, go for it.
All right, sounds good. All right, so guys, welcome to Buchanan Farms. So Buchanan Farms is based off of a 6,000 acre corn and soybean farm, and a good friend of mine who farms in the Decatur area, Voorhees Farms. But if you guys go on to my YouTube channel, you see some videos from about 10 years ago when I was running around with them, just taking pictures and videos of when they're out planting and also when they're out harvesting their corn and soybeans. So their layout is really similar to what they have, what it is. So you had the farmhouse here. This is a custom built farmhouse from Scale Model Homes on Instagram. Chris Peterson is his name. He did a very beautiful job on this house. This is all scratch built out of basswood, and then he also put individual shingles on there as well. If you guys can see that.
Wow.
And then I took it and then added some flowers and plants around the area. This area right here is still a work in progress, as much of the layout still is, even though it looks almost finished. But with a farm this size, also being trying to be realistic with it, it's always going to continue to grow, be passed down from generation to generation. So this farm layout will never truly be finished because there'll be expansion in the future. So as you see this area right now, this will be something that would be a future pool and then maybe a jacuzzi. That's kind of something that we've always wanted to have. And then back here in this area would be like a gazebo and then possibly a outdoor living area, kitchen, whatever people like to do outside. So come around here to the front. So this is the main entrance. So this would be like the country road, and you have the driveway. So what I use for my concrete is actually Woodland Cenis Smooth It that I used, I don't know, about 5 years ago, and it still held up pretty well, even after making like a 10-hour move from Florida to Maryland. And then I poured out the Smooth It mix, smoothed it, and then sanded it, and then painted it like a light aircraft gray, which gives it kind of that faded concrete look to it. So it's been around for a little bit. And then you have over here is the main shop, which we'll get into here in a few seconds. It does have lights on it, as you see throughout the building. There's a spotlight right there, and then another one up there, and then two lights next to the front door, or the man-made door. So one cool feature about this is I made this to where the roof would be removable. And then I want to go ahead and take this off real quick. Right here, you got the Hagee STS-12 sprayer, which right now is geared up for fungicide application. It has the wheel well covers. This was a Ertl Prestige that came out, and I went through, repainted, put new wheels on there, and also has the option of taking on and off uh, the narrow tires for floaters and whenever it's needed. And then here's the main shop area. So you have cabinets, bench, some bolt holder or bins, and then the crane, office printer. And then as you can see right here, there is a fridge and oven, and then also a sink, but that's still a work in progress as well. So go back out to the shop. Some of the other equipment that we have here. So here's a 7810 with a row prop front end, removable duals. Also has the ability to have a front end loader. This is built by Jensen Diecast with a Birch Hog batwing mower. And here's the shop's service truck. This was built by Clint Thomerson a few years ago. It's a matte granite with a Circle C Farm Toys service bed. And here's a one of the three 9RX 640s that the farm has. And then the farm also loves their old iron. So here's a 630 with a 2-row picker. And then some racks with parts storage and then other miscellaneous stuff. So then going over here, this is the farm's grain setup. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The grain leg itself is about 25 to 30 inches tall. So it gets up there pretty high. And then here's the conveyor system. So here's the building right here for the grain pit. So on the real farm, on Bill Voorhees' farm, they have a building over the pit. That way they can load their semi. Coming around here is the farm's big shed, which is the cold storage shed. It has a removable roof, and I'll have to climb up here to get it removed. And then fuel tanks. And that's kind of a quick overview. So I'll have to climb up here real quick and get the roof removed so that way you can see inside.
Sounds good.
For like a workbench, so I had to build the farm display about 4 foot tall. That way I could at least work on stuff underneath the farm display. I had like a little computer desk that I was working underneath. So here's a view inside the main cold storage shed. So there in the bricks, a 50-foot cream trellis accelerator, and there's a 6 bottom. Let's see, yeah, 5 bottom international plow, John Deere 6030, and then there's a John Deere DB 120. So this was originally a spec cast frame. That's the only thing that's original on it. So the tanks are customized, and also it has the exact merge 3D printed grow units. Those came from Adam Frericks. Then there's a Unverfurth Nutramax side dresser. Behind that there's two Case IH 75 disc rippers, a scraper, and then there's that loader for the 7810 16-row corn head. And then there's a John Deere X9 1000 or 1100, and then a narrow track 9520 RX, and then the farm's grain cart, which is a Balzer 2200. It's on quad tracks as well. And then kind of hiding underneath it, the trusses are the two other 9RX 640s that the farm has. And then the 50-foot draper head, and then a Polar tank trailer, and then some fertilizer storage tanks. So that's kind of the lineup and overview of the farm. So real quick, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to turn the lights off and then turn on the scale lighting for the farm, so we can get like a nighttime scene.
Awesome.
And let me go ahead and open this up real quick. And then let's see. The shop is also lit up inside.
Wow. Yeah, that is incredible.
Thank you. So the next thing I have to do to light up, I do plan on lighting up the house, adding outside lights, and then also doing separate rooms potentially, and then having individual rooms light up.
So are you using like is it like a Woodland Phoenix plug and play kit or something like that? What are you using to light everything up?
So the a majority of the lights are the Woodland Scenics, like the plug and play system that they have, with a combination of floodlights that I found from Walther's Trains. It's like a German company that sells them on their website. The shop or the lights inside the shop are actually battery powered, which is how I'm allowed to remove the roof.
That was my next question.
Yep. I'll come back around.
And I know we've talked where you kind of have a background in model railroading as well. So I feel like the lighting, definitely has kind of drawn inspiration from that. Like any other things, any other tips, like for people that are kind of working on a display? I always tell people check out what the model railroad guys are doing and then try to make it fit to your scale. But I just wondered where you've kind of got your foot in both worlds. If you had some experience or some knowledge for everybody there.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, I mean you hit the nail on the head. Like modern railroading, what those guys are doing is absolutely phenomenal. Um, there's one guy I follow in particular who's written a bunch of books. His name is Pele Soberg,
Okay.
and here's one of his books. So he built this HL scale model train layout, which was set in the Midwest. So he has a lot of the good scenery and ideas and how tos um, that we can use even as like 164 scale farmers or model farmers, and making those sceneries realistic.
Yeah, that's excellent. I'm gonna have to find that book.
Uh-huh. And there's a lot of others. Kathy Millett is another one. Luke Talon on YouTube. Both of them are on YouTube, and those people they do a phenomenal job on their um, displays.
Yeah, I found myself find myself watching Luke Towan quite a bit. Uh, he explains things really well, and it kind of makes you go, "Hey, I could do that too." So
There's like when I built my creek display that I took to Lafayette a few years ago. I was watching him religiously, and I was watching one of his videos. Oh gosh, I don't know. I probably watched it about 10 to 100 times, just watching every single thing he does and seeing like if I like. And now each time I would pick up something different that I kind of missed on the last time.
yeah, sure. That's one of the great things about like doing what we're doing here today, or getting to watch videos on YouTube from those guys, is it takes a little bit of the mystery out of it that maybe there used to be.
Yeah.
And so it can kind of get you up and building a lot quicker, I feel like, than maybe in the past. So um, I think that's really encouraging for people.
Hmm. Yeah, and also like I highly recommend going to your local modern railroading hobby shop, and also going to the train shows. There's a lot of times at the train shows. There's going to be vendors there that have a lot of the scenery material that you're looking for. They'll have books kind of like this as well. Also, they have the model train layouts, which you can also get inspiration from for scenery ideas. And a lot of those guys are very talented too.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though, a lot of model railroading, I mean, there's S scale model railroading, obviously 164, but even though a lot of it is HO scale or N scale or something like that, the techniques all carry over. I mean, the technique is essentially the same. It doesn't matter what scale you're using. So to get to pick those guys' brains and talk to them and see what they're doing, it's a huge help.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Like here's like just some of the pictures that he has inside his book are just absolutely amazing.
Want to add or talk about?
Uh, I'm sure there's probably some other questions.
Yeah, feel free to ask questions. Anybody that's watching, or obviously Chris will be glad to answer anything he can. And um, but yeah, it's kind of it's. I'm excited that we got to do this. I'm glad we were able to get together. I think it's really cool. Hopefully we can do it again sometime too,
Yeah,
um, where we can just kind of get together, show off a display, and kind of. I love hearing kind of the inspiration behind it, and how it's kind of somewhat based on a real farm, but also a little bit of a fantasy farm. I think that's really cool. I love that. Um, and then I hope people can see your display and it really inspires them to get to building. So
yeah, absolutely. And you guys can check me out on Instagram at Buchanan Farms. And I always have people asking me questions. Hey, like, where do you get your customs? What do you do? I always recommend, like, always try to point you guys in the right direction of where you can get your scenery material, where someone that does custom work. Um, I know I've had a lot of people ask me if I do customs, make customs to sell, and I'm like, no, I don't do it. The reason being is because I am active duty military, and I was a full time college student, and then I had a baby at the same time. So I had all three of those things going on, so I didn't really have any time left over. Also, another reason why is I don't want to get burnt out of the hobby. I know that's happened to a few other people that I kind of noticed that they kind of got burnt out and disappear and then come back again.
Yeah, it's easy to do when you can kind of get overwhelmed with things, and then you I don't know, I don't want to say lose love for it, but have to take a
Mhm.
break. And I think a lot of us have been there in the past a time or two. And yeah, so I definitely understand when somebody doesn't want to do custom build for people. I don't really like take custom orders per se. I build customs and sell them, but I
Uh-huh.
I generally don't build on demand for people because that isn't fun to me.
Right.
So I don't know, but yeah, I definitely understand that. So back to so I think we know. I think everybody here probably knows the big farm toy shows. Lafayette, Dyersville, St. Louis, etc. for displays and things like that. Do you have any train shows you would recommend for specifically for anybody to check out?
Um, so if you're on the eastern part of the area, part of the country, so like the Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey area, Virginia area, I highly recommend the Timonium, Maryland show. That is actually at the state fairgrounds, just north of Baltimore, and I think it's like I want to say 10-acre building that they have it in, and it's just
Oh, wow.
filled with trains of all scales, um, with some that are extremely detailed, some that aren't. They have massive train layouts in there as well, of all sizes.
Wow.
So that's that. There's one actually that happened this weekend up in Illinois. It was the Galesburg Railroad Days. So the whole town, it has about 7 rail lines all owned by the Burlington Northern Santa Fe, that goes into the town, and they have a massive rail yard there too. So they have about 80 trains that run through in one day, is what an average day is.
Phew.
So they have they do a celebration for the railroad that came into town, essentially, and then they have a junior college outside of town that they hold the train show at. So that's another one. Um, there's one in Decatur, Illinois. I think that's in the April and September timeframes. There's, I want to say, one in Springfield, Illinois. That one, I believe, is in October, November timeframes. But the Modern Railroader magazine and a couple of the other ones, like Railroad Craftsman, they have kind of like a listings of all the different train shows. And also, you can just Google them online and say train shows near me, and there'll be pop ups for different train shows in the area.
Okay, excellent.
I see Luke was asking a question. It says, when are you bringing the whole display to Lafayette show? Well, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be bringing this display to Lafayette. I would love to sometime, but with being in the military and constantly moving around, um, it'd be kind of difficult to do that. And plus, I don't have a trailer, so I can't really have anywhere to pull it.
I would be nervous the whole time pulling that thing across country.
So when we moved up here to Maryland from Florida, there were a few things that were ended up being broken from the move, but thankfully there's just a couple small things, and I was able to replace it or get them fixed.
That's great. Yeah.
Kind of depth to that color that it has, and also
Yeah.
just had the metallic in it, which I kind of thought was disappointing. But other than that, I'm really excited that we finally have a GMC Denali, Sierra Denali, for the 164 scale community.
Yeah, it's been long overdue for sure.
Oh yeah, I actually had three of them on the display. So I had the red one here. So this one actually kind of switched out the tires. So originally it came with the chrome wheels, and I switched it for the blacked out wheels that were on the black Denali's,
Nice. Yeah.
which was just a quick fix. And then there's one of Kyle Newmaker's 3D printed toolboxes that also opens up. So there's that one, and then here's a black one, and then there's a silver one over there hanging out. But I ended up getting all the colors except for the SLTs that just came out.
Yeah, I think I might be the only person on the planet that doesn't have one of those trucks yet.
You need to get one.
I'm getting one. I'll get one. Actually, I saw Cameron Farmer just opened up an online store, so I need to go look and see if he has them.
Oh yeah, I did see that. He's also doing I think a sale in celebration of the new website.
And see what people think. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Probably what I'll
absolutely.
do is I might try to I'll try to download this video and re-upload it this week as just a regular video. I mean, the lives go up anyway as a live, but if you sometimes if you re-upload something and I just say like Buchanan Farm Toy Display or something like that, then we'll like it gets better engagement on YouTube or what however the algorithm picks that up. So I'm probably going to try to do that this week at some point, and so we can kind of get even more eyes on this. Although I have a feeling a lot of people will be watching this, replaying this live throughout the week, so I have a feeling we'll get quite a few views on this by the end of the week.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I guess unless you've got something else, that's all I got. I
Yeah.
definitely appreciate you jumping on the live with me. It's always awesome to chat, and I of course love seeing your display. So
Appreciate
that
it.
was pretty great.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
want to say thank you. Like, we were driving up to Dyersville for the summer show, and I was thinking, hey, I wonder if Jason would want to do it live together. And it just kind of popped in my head as we are driving up, and so then I asked you. We kind of talked about it, and we were like, yeah, let's both do this. So
Yeah,
I'm happy that we were
absolutely.
both able to do this as well. So
Yeah, it's cool. It's I don't know, just one of the cool things about the hobby that we get to do this stuff together online. 1,000 miles apart. It's kind of cool.
hmm
So, but yeah, well, all right, guys. I guess that'll do it. Thanks again, Chris. Really appreciate it. Thanks everybody that watched.
thanks,
Uh,
Jason.
yeah, you bet. And I will talk to you soon. Everybody else, thanks for watching and have an awesome day and happy tractor hunting.